Hello, welcome. My name's Shadagita. Welcome to this London Buddhist Centre YouTube yoga class entitled Vast Mind. So I'm here today with Guillaume. He's our tech support today, which is great. Yeah, and a really warm welcome to you all, wherever you're tuning in from. Do say hello in the chat box, say where you're from. It's always nice to hear that, so that we have a sense of where you all are. Yes.
Sophie Holstock saying hi from Haringey.
Haringey, hello Sophie, great.
And I think people are still arriving.
Yeah, people are still arriving.
Ricardo Benitez saying hi from Brighton.
Ah, from Brighton, lovely.
Brixton, sorry.
Brixton, not Brighton. Okay, so different boroughs in London.
John Griffin saying hi.
Hi John, from over the road. Always nice to see you. And we've also got Anita just arriving in the room, so that's really nice too. Great, and just to let you know, this is going to be the last Friday YouTube class for now. We're going to be just moving to one YouTube class a week from now on in yoga, and that'll be on Thursdays, so do look out for that. What that means, though, is we're going to be doing more live classes, so if you are living in London and fairly close by, I guess, you can come for lunchtime classes. You need to book them. They're all on the website, so do have a look. So Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we'll be offering 2 lunchtime classes, and also Wednesday and Thursday evenings as well. And then from the 20th of November, we're also going to be doing a Friday evening restorative class, which is a sort of more quiet practice of yoga. We'll be using props for that, which will all go into quarantine after each class. So yeah, that's one that's coming up in November. So do have a look on the website. And make sure you've got all the things you need, mats, maybe some blocks. And I'll say a bit more about the theme of the class once it's 12 o'clock-ish. So just another minute or so. Also, that allows any latecomers in. How many people have we got so far?
So we've got 8 people.
8 people, great, yeah. I think quite a lot of people are watching these classes later actually on catch up, so it's great that you can do that.
9 people.
What's that?
9 people now.
9 people, great. Someone else has snuck in the door, brilliant. Yeah, so, well, actually, if you're near a window while you're sitting, wherever you're sitting, if you are near a window, we're not down here, we're in a basement, but we have got a very beautiful painting behind us and that way as well. So if you are near a window, while we're waiting, just take a look outside the window and just see what you see. See if you can just notice the sky. Notice the colours of the sky. If you don't have a window, maybe you can just imagine the sky. Just for a moment, and then in a moment we're going to start and I'll say a few things about vast mind. Which is quite a tall order, isn't it, on a Friday lunchtime? We're going to be stepping into vast mind. But anyway, first of all, just connect with sky. Great, okay, so welcome again. So my name's Shradagita and I'm here at the London Buddhist Centre in the breathing space shrine room downstairs in our basement. I'm here with Guillaume, who's the tech support, and Anita, who's joined the class live. She's coming to the class, so that's really nice. And welcome to all of you, wherever you're tuning in from, London or beyond. So today's class, it's called Vast Mind. So in Buddhism, an image for vast mind is a clear blue sky stretching in all directions, infinite, vast, deep, deep blue. So that's a very, very beautiful image, and you really get this sense of expansion and just that sort of blue that you see sometimes in the mountains. I remember many years ago being in Ladakh, and the sky there was just so blue, that deep blue. But I also remember reading a book by a Buddhist teacher called Lama Govinda, and he wrote a book called The Way of the White Clouds. And he's talking about traveling in Tibet. And he really talks quite a lot about the sky and the luminosity of colours in Tibet. And it's a very, very beautiful book, very rich in terms of colour and symbolism. So this sense of blue, well, I thought I'd read us a little bit on blue to get us in the mood. So let's just sit. We can sit either cross-legged, like I'm sitting, or you could kneel. And I'm just going to read a little bit from Sangharakshita on the colour blue. So just close your eyes first of all. Have a sense of your sitting bones, connection with your block or the ground, your weight dropping down towards the earth. At the same time, have a sense of length through the spine and the crown of the head opening towards the sky. And whatever your inner skies are like right now, just try and have a sense of that. They might be grey, pale blue, might be sunset red. It could be all number of colours. There might be lots of clouds. But whatever the nature of your own inner skies are, there is always blue sky. So even when there's clouds, behind the clouds there's always deep blue sky, even when we can't see it. And sometimes if we really look at the sky when it's grey, there's lots of other colours there. There's the warm colours within grey, the cooler colours. So we can be aware of all that. We can be aware of all that with our own inner skies. And then just take a moment to really try and imagine blue skies. And the word sky instantly suggests vastness, limitlessness, even infinity. So blue has those connotations as well. A clear blue midday sky, free of clouds. The kind of sky you get in the tropics suggests freedom from all obscurations. So see if you can feel that sense of freedom, or even a glimmering of freedom when you see such a sky. You can imagine the sky like a vast dome of pure, deep, brilliant blue. And this blue is infinite and shining. So clouds might come and go, but the sky behind them remains unchanged. And in Buddhism, this becomes a symbol for truth, this sense of blue, vast blueness. Becomes a symbol for reality or truth. And this sense of vast mind, enlightened mind itself. So just see if you can even get a glimmering of blue sky. And then see if you can just relax into it. Even just being receptive to it, opening to that blue. Breathing with that blue, that vastness. And you can imagine that this blue sky is all around you, to the front, the sides, behind you, in all directions. And try and keep that sense of connection with the sky as we practice yoga. And you might lose that thread of connection with it. But if you do, just come back to that sense of blue and sky, stretching in all directions. And then slowly, just starting to open your eyes, and we'll come into our first pose. So our first pose is going to be a quiet pose, just so that we can really carry on connecting with the sky. So let's bring feet together into butterfly pose, and either bring the heels a bit closer to the groin if you want to go a bit deeper into the pose, or you can move the feet away a little bit if you want it to be a bit less intense, or it could be somewhere in the middle. And once you feel sort of settled in the pose, you can start to walk the hands forward if you'd like to, or just rest them on the legs, or you can stay sitting upright. If you are going to come forward, try and come forward from the hips so you have a nice long lower back. And then you can start to round the back from that sense of length in the lower back. And again, in this pose, have this sense of space around you, blue sky around you, in all directions. And you're in that blue sky. So just breathing there. Just a few more breaths. Last breath. And then walking the hands back, bring the hands to the outer knees and just draw the knees together. And then for a moment, you could just stretch the legs forward, lean back, and just feel the sensations in your legs, inner thighs, outer hips. And then from there, we're going to lift the hips up a few times. So you can either turn your fingers to the side, or if you want to sort of rotate the shoulder a little bit, you could turn the fingers to the back. So you've got a choice there. You might want to claw the fingers a little bit. Feet about hip width apart, knees in line with the hips. And then on an inhale, we're just going to lift up. So coming up onto our hands and our feet. Chin can be sort of towards the chest, or you could look up at the ceiling. And then slowly release, coming down. Let's do that 2 more times. So lifting up. Couple of breaths. And release down. Let's do 1 more. And release down. Great. And then let's just come down onto our back for a moment or 2 and bend the knees, lift the feet, and then widen the knees a little bit. And let's come into happy baby. So we can take hold of our shins or toes. Try and keep the shoulders and head on the ground. And you can rock a little bit from side to side. You're also keeping your sacrum down on the ground. So it's as if it's glued down. And as it's down, it sort of really opens the front body through the pelvis and belly. So trying to keep the sacrum down. Rock a little bit from side to side, if that feels good. Or stay still. Stretch the toes and the sole of the foot. Breathe deeply into the belly. Relax the jaw and the forehead. And you could even be a happy baby adult and smile. It's quite a hard pose for adults, this one. 1 more breath. And then bring the knees together and then circle them away from each other. So doing this a few times just to ease out the inner thighs and then going back the other way. And then let's roll over onto our sides and come up from there. So we're coming on to all fours, and let's do a few cat-cows. Just going to straighten my mat a little bit. Okay, so on the inhale, lift the chest, lift the sitting bones. On the exhale, rounding. So just doing a few of these to really wake up your back. And still trying to keep this connection with the vastness of blue sky, stretching out all around you. So it's as if you're locating yourself in this vastness, in this deep blue sky. Last one. And then coming back to neutral. And then we're going to do some gentle abdominal work. So think about zipping up the abdominals from the pubic bone just to below the navel. So light zipping up. And then we're going to lift the left foot back, stretching the sole of the foot, and right arm forward. Stretching here, and then elbow to knee and curling in on the exhale. Let's do 5 on each side. So inhaling, stretch back. Exhale, round and curl. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more. Great, you're doing really well. Last one. Great. And then just for a moment, re-establishing your base and then bringing the right foot back, stretching the heel back, lifting left arm. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rounding, elbow to knee. So 2 more. Last one. And release. And then tucking the toes, drawing the buttocks back to the heels and lifting the hips. And coming into downward dog. Walking out the legs. So you can either bend and straighten the legs alternately, or you could come right up onto your toes, really straightening the legs, and then come down onto the balls of the feet, and then move the heels back. So it's as if you're doing a little bounce. And you can stretch the side body as well. And then we're going to step forward into a lunge with the left foot. So left foot comes towards left hand, bring the right knee down, and then let's sweep the arms forward and up and bring them around into cactus. 2 more times, sweeping up and around into cactus, bending the elbows. Last one. Into cactus, and then sweep the arms up, palms face each other and reach up and back. Pressing the back foot down, top of the foot. Left foot's really firm. 2 breaths, lift the chest. But if there's pinching in the lower back, bring the arms forward a little bit. And then bring the palms together, hook the right elbow, cross left knee. Look down at your foot first of all, and then turn towards the left. 2 breaths here. Lifting the belly away from the thigh. If you want to take that back foot off the ground, straightening that back leg, feel free, or you can keep the knee down. 2 more breaths. Great. And then hands down, step left foot back. Walking out the legs. And in between sides, let's come through knees, lower the chest, scoop down, come up into a cobra, wave down, and then back into downward dog. And then right foot steps forward, left knee comes down, sweeping the arms forward and up. 3 times. Opening up the shoulders. Great, lovely. And then last one, sweep the arms up, palms facing each other. Lift the chest. 2 breaths. Back foot actively pressed to the ground. And then palms together, left elbow over right knee. Look down for balance if you need to, and then find a bit of a turn to the right. If you want to, lift that back knee, you can do that. Breathe. 1 more breath. Great. And then hands down. Step the right foot back into downward dog. And again, come forward, knees, lower the chest, scoop through, keeping low, and then up into cobra. Back into down dog. And if at any time you need a little break, just coming down into child's pose. Two more breaths here. And then we're going to step the left foot forward, keeping on the back right ball of the foot. So the back foot's, the back leg rather, is straight. And we're going to do a high lunge now. So again, lifting the arms, this time just to a parallel place, stretching up. And then palms together, and let's try hooking the right elbow across the left knee. So if it's too much, bring the back knee down, but if you can stay, just seeing how that is, lifting the belly away from the thigh, turning. Fantastic. And then let the right hand come down next to the foot and then lift up into a twist with a long arm. Great. And then hands down, step back. This time we can come into a plank or knees, chest, chin. So scooping down, coming back up and down dog. 3 breaths. Let the gaze look towards the belly. Really think about externally rotating the upper arms from the inside. Press the base of the index finger down to really activate your arms. And then let's step right foot forward. So coming onto the ball of the left foot, bring the arms up and come into a high lunge. 2 breaths here. Hands together. Bring left elbow across right knee. Find your balance and then turn. 2 breaths. Great. And then left hand comes down, right arm stretches up. 2 breaths. Great. And then right hand comes down, step right foot back. And then coming forward, knees, chest, chin, or plank, and up dog and down dog. And then bringing your knees down for a moment, so you come back onto all fours, and then let the right knee pivot a little bit on your mat, and the left foot is going to stretch out. So the left leg straight, outer edge of the left foot's pressed down, right hand down, and then lift the left hand up, gate pose. And then if you want to take this deeper, you can lift that left leg up into a baby half moon, stretching the sole of the foot away, activating the toes, lifting through the inner thigh. Fantastic. And then release back down, turn again, and do the other side. So just pivoting a little bit on the left knee this time. Right foot comes down, outer edge really press down into the ground, lift the right arm, stretching up. And then lifting that right leg up, active in the foot. 2 breaths. Wonderful. And then coming down, turning again, tucking the toes back into downward dog, walking out the legs. And then you can come forward again into a plank, lower yourself down, up dog and down dog. And then step forward with the right foot, drop the left heel, windmill the arms up, and we'll come into Trikonasana. So widening the arms, reaching forward, hand comes onto shin, left hand behind and up, turning the chest. And then from here, we're going to lightly step into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So bringing the left hand down, bending the front knee, and then just doing a little hop with the back foot. Bring the right hand down. And first of all, find your balance. So look at the ground first of all. And then you can start to turn the left hip, turn the chest, lift the arm. Breathe. Great. And then lightly stepping back into Trikonasana. Fantastic. And then using the strength of the feet, come up. And then we're going to turn the feet. And we're going to come into reverse Trikonasana. So now I've got my left foot turned and my right coming in. And I'm going to reach with my right arm all the way over to my left, either ankle or foot, or just beyond the foot. And then I'm going to keep my left hand on my sacrum for now and try and turn a little bit here. Breathing and turning, and then I can lift the back arm up. 2 breaths. Great, and then bring the hand down. You can walk the hands all the way back, turn the right foot again and come back into Trikonasana. And then coming all the way up. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So turning the left foot out now, right foot in, lengthening the arms, reaching with that left arm to left shin, lifting the right arm up. Really establishing this Trikonasana, turning the chest. From this groundedness, we can then find that sense of lightness in the half moon. So bring the right hand down, so it's on the right outer hip. Bend the front knee and do a little hop with the back foot. Bring the left hand down, straighten the left knee if you can, or have a soft bend. Find your balance, look down, and then start to turn. And only when you feel really balanced, turn your head, lift your arm. Breathe, soften. And if you fall out, just go back to Trikonasana. And then lightly step back into Trikonasana. And remembering how we exit the pose is just as important as how we prepare for it and how we are in it. It's all part of the pose. 2 breaths in Trikonasana. And then coming all the way up, and we're going to go into reverse Trikonasana. So turning left foot in, right foot out, turning the hips a bit, and then my left arm is going to reach up long, tall, and then it's going to come towards the right foot, and beyond it, come onto the fingertips, left hand on sacrum, find some length in the back, then start to turn. Feet really active, and then lift. Right hand and arm up. 1 more breath. Well done. Release the arm, walk the hands, come back into Trikonasana on the left side. And then slowly coming all the way up. And then turn both feet towards the front and bring the hands onto the hips. Bend the knees if you need to and fold from the hips. Crown of the head, reaching forward and then down. You can bring the hands down or be on fingertips. can bend knees. You can widen the legs a little here as well. That can make it easier to bring the crown of the head down. Lifting the sitting bones. Two more breaths. And then heel toeing the feet back to hip width apart. And then taking hold of elbows, letting the back dangle and release. And still trying to have a sense of the vastness of sky all around us. We're looking through our legs now, so we're looking to the back of the body and beyond. So try and have a sense of that, sense of the sides stretching out. And then bringing the hands onto the shins, straightening the legs a little bit and looking forward. And then bending elbows and again curling back down. So doing that 2 more times, lengthening and curling back towards the body. Last one. And then from there, slowly uncurling, keeping the knees bent, head last of all. You might feel a little bit lightheaded, so just take a moment to stand in mountain pose. And again, feel the vastness around you, stretching to the front, the sides, the back. And then turn again to the top of the mat and let's reach up on the inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, step back again into downward dog. And then come forward into a plank, and then up dog and down dog. And then dropping the knees, big toes together, widen the knees and stretch the arms forward. And then walking the arms to the left, the hands to the left, stretching the right side. Having a sense of that space moving outwards from the left, from the hands. And then back to center, having a sense of space from the hands. And then walking over to the right, stretching the left side. Back to center. And then slowly walking the hands back towards the body. And then let's come into garland pose. So we're going to turn our feet here, turn them out a little bit, turn the toes. Come onto the sole of the foot if you can. If not, lift the heels and you could be like this, or you could place some support there. And then bring the hands together. And see if you can lift a little bit out of the hips. Let the back lift out of the hips, chest. lifted. Great. And then you can let gravity pull the buttocks back down to the ground. And let's start to come all the way back down. So we're going to do this with control. So lifting the arms. And we're going to go really slowly. So again, zipping up the core. There'll come a point when the body will want to just roll down. So we're going to try not to let it really roll like a ball. It's more like we're just letting it move really, really slowly. So really pressing the feet into the ground, activating the abdominals. And then the back, the spine slowly comes down, right down to the head. Just place the hands on the belly for a moment. After that work that the abdominals did. And then just to stretch the abdominals a little bit, just holding the sides of your mat, keeping the feet about hip width apart, knees pointing forward. On an inhale, just lifting the hips, lifting the back, stretching the belly, and then exhaling, releasing down again. And just doing that a few times. And on the last one, just holding it for a few breaths. You could curl the shoulders underneath and interlace the hands. If that's okay on the back. Breathe. Stretching the belly. Stretching chest and the heart. Widening the heart. And still having this sense of vast blue sky around us. And then slowly release. Hug the knees towards the chest. Can rock a little bit from side to side. Draw some circles. Hand on each knee. And then let the feet come down. And we'll do a little supine twist. So just shift the hips a little bit over to the right. And let the knees either stack on each other and go to the left, or you could bring them up a little bit higher if you want the target of the twist to be a bit more mid-back. Then bring the knees a bit higher. If you want to target the hips, the lower back a bit more, you can just stack them and have them roughly in line with the hips. So see where you need or want to target. And if you can, turn towards that right hand, torso turning as well. One more breath. And then knees coming back up, shifting the hips this time a little bit over to the left. Knees drop to the right. Left shoulder stays on the ground. Breathing into the space opening up in the rib cage. Great. And then slowly bringing the knees back and stretching out for Shavasana. So letting the legs stretch out. And if you've got socks or a warm jumper you want to put on or a blanket, please do. And you can let yourself rest now in that sense of blue sky, that vastness that we've been practicing within, in our mind's eye, that sense of space and blue. Even if we've just seen a little glimmering of it, there are always these small openings. And maybe after the yoga, the body just feels really nicely stretched and expanded. So then that can also help us to have a sense of expanding into blue sky. So keep relaxing into the blue sky. And have a sense of that nature of blue sky, vast, infinite. Luminous. And this sense of vastness is also the potential of our own mind. It is the nature of our mind ultimately. So see if you can have a sense of flying through that blue sky like a bird, coursing through the sky. And often we see birds just floating really in the thermals. So let yourself float in blue sky. And just rest in blue sky. It's safe to rest there. And then as you hear the bell, you can slowly start to resurface from that depth of blue, maybe making a few small movements in the fingers and toes. You can also stretch the feet and hands, rotate wrists and ankles. And then taking your time, you can just roll over onto your side, rest there for a few moments. And then slowly coming up from there, and we'll just sit together in blue sky to finish the class. And then as we draw the class to a close, just maybe trying to have a sense of how you might keep a thread of connection with this vast blue sky, with this sense of spaciousness, freedom, openness, and then slowly opening your eyes. Thank you so much for coming to the class today. Really lovely to practice with you all and to dwell in blue skies. Yeah, I really hope that the image of the blue sky can stay with you throughout today and beyond, and that something of that spaciousness kind of weaves itself into the rest of your day. And yeah, do tune in again next Thursday for another YouTube class, or if you're closer by, do come to one of our live classes on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. There'll be 2 classes next week, and also Thursday and Wednesday evening, but do book for all of those on the website. Once again, thanks to Guillaume for all his tech support. He's been here a lot over the last few months, and yeah, we really couldn't do these classes without the tech. It makes a huge difference, so thank you to Guillaume. And thanks to Anita for joining us. Really nice to have another person doing yoga in the room, and hope to see you all soon.